Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am the Y2K collector, and it has been quite some time, but I know that I owe you all a video. I promised that I would do a mid-year Nintendo Switch collection review where I would review my entire Nintendo Switch collection, but at this point I've gotten to a little bit over 300 games, so I figured that would be a really long video, and I do not want to do 300 games, especially if they're games that I've already showcased on the channel, and especially if they're games that I've already talked about. Now, I did pull together roughly around 100 games that I've picked up since the beginning of the year. So between January and now, I've got about 100 games that I've picked up over the last 6 months. We're right around the end of June, getting ready to go into the second half of the year, and so I figured it'd probably be better for me to just show you some of the pickups that I've made over the last 6 months. Now, I doubt this is everything that I've purchased. In fact, I know this isn't everything that I've purchased or traded for, but these were the ones that stuck out the most to me, and these were the ones that I figured, you know what, if I'm going to do a video, I might as well go ahead and share some of these games that I've picked up. Now, I've got a good little mix. I've got some PSP stuff in here. I've got some definitely some Switch stuff, and then I've also got some Vita stuff, and that's really all I've been buying for. I did pick up a couple PS2 games here and there. I also picked up I want to say a couple Dreamcast games as well, but those aren't going to be included in this video. Maybe I'll include that in a different one. But for today, I'm just going to be going over these 100 games that I've picked up. So I'm not going to waste any more time, and I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to start off with the PSP games. A lot of you know that after this summer, I think after this year, PSP is going to be done for in terms of online activity. In fact, I think it's already done for. So there were a few ones that I wanted to get, and I was able to add them to my collection. So let's get it going. First one up is Platypus. This is a shmup. This isn't a very popular shmup. This is a PSP shmup. You're basically a platypus, and it's a side scroller. I think I saw Radical Reggie talk about this, and I had also seen it myself on eBay, and I figured, you know what, for $8, why not? I love a good shmup, and so I grabbed it. Okay, next up is one that a lot of us know, Hot Shots Golf, or rather Hot Shots Tennis. I love a good tennis game. I think the Wii got me into tennis games hardcore, and this is just a copy of Hot Shots Tennis. So get a grip, pick that up, and that is for the PSP. And then this time around, here we go, we've got Hot Shots Golf. So Hot Shots Golf, this is a really cool one. I love a good golf game, and so I wanted to pick this up on the PSP. Grabbed it. Okay, next up is action game. I love me some action, and I saw this on the PSP, Bounty Hounds. This looks like a pretty cool action game. I think I saw, there's a YouTuber, I can't remember his name, but he's real big on PS Vita games and PSP, and he had mentioned Bounty Hounds, and this seemed like a game that was right up my alley, kind of like an action hack and slash type shooter type game, so figured I'd check it out. Bounty Hounds on the PSP. Next up, this is one that I have on the Dreamcast, and I saw this available for the PSP, so I said, hey, why not? Phantasy Star Portable. So who doesn't love a good RPG? I was able to pick this up. It's actually a sealed copy. Grab that. Pretty cool game. Looking forward to getting into it. Glad to have it in my collection. Next up, we have one that we all know. This is God of War. I got the Ghost of Sparta. This was pretty cheap. It was only about $8-9, and we all know about God of War. Pretty cool adventure action game. Bunch of powers, bunch of moves and weapons. I'm all about that. Grabbed it on the PSP. Next up, who doesn't love a good run and gun side-scrolling shooter? Well, Metal Slug will meet all those needs, and I picked up Metal Slug XX for the PSP, Atlas game, SNK. I used to play Metal Slug in the arcades all the time, and Metal Slug is a very nostalgic series for me, so anytime I see a Metal Slug game, doesn't matter the console, I will try and grab it. Next up, Undead Knights. This is another game that I saw while just going through and scanning to see what action games am I missing on the PSP, and this one was a pretty cool one. Again, hack and slash style game, a little bit more bloody, a little bit more gore on the PSP, but pretty cool game. And a lot of these I was able to pick up for really cheap, most of them under $19.99, so really cool stuff. Here we go. Phantasy Star Portable 2. So this is part 2 of the Phantasy Star Portable series by Sega. Grab this one up just because I'm always up for a good RPG, and I saw this at a really decent price. This game is a little bit expensive, but I was able to grab it at a decent price, so picked that one up, added it to my PSP collection before the PSP becomes out of this world expensive. Then we have Tokobot. This is another quick PSP pickup, a cool adventure game, and I'm going to kind of move a little bit faster with these ones so that I don't waste too much time. Then we have Warriors of the Lost Empire. This again is another PSP pickup. Let me see if I can get that in focus there. All right, so it's another PSP pickup for you. Grab that. Then we also have Crush. This is another game that I snagged for the PSP, kind of like a puzzle platforming type game. Very different. Thought it was cool. Sega made some really cool games for the PSP, and Valkyria Chronicles 2 was definitely one of them. I have part 4 on the Switch, but part 2 is really cool. If you're looking for like a RPG action game, this is a really cool one on the PSP. And then last but not least, Ape Escape on the Loose. I've got Ape Escape on the PlayStation 1. I've also got Ape Escape 2 and 3 on the PS2. And I figured, you know what? $10, why not? So I went ahead and snagged it up. Okay, so that takes care of the PSP pickups. Now let's get into the PS Vita. First one I'm going to talk about is one that I've mentioned before. This is an import, and this is Metal Max Xeno, rather. And this is a cool hack and slash import game on the PS Vita. Haven't had a chance to dive into it yet, but man, I'm excited. Lots of really great moves and weapons and power-ups, so was able to get this off of PlayAsia. Not bad. I'm always in for a good shmup, and Skyforce Anniversary was a PS Vita game that I picked up. This game too was a little bit pricey when I was looking around for it, but I was able to get a good deal on it, and I snagged that up. Next up, Tokyo Xanadu. I can't pronounce this for the life of me, but this is another PS Vita that I picked up so far in the beginning of the year. Really cool game. Haven't gotten into it yet. Then you have Virtua Tennis. This is another PS Vita pickup. Snag that up. Always down for a good tennis game. Then you have Grand Kingdom. This is another Vita snag up. And a lot of these were like $39.99, $29.99. I got them right when the announcement of the Vita store was closing, before everything shot up crazy. Then we have Dragon's Crown on the Vita. Another really cool Vita release. That whole Vanillaware feel. Then we have Ragnarok Odyssey Ace. This is like a poor man's version of Monster Hunter. Right? So really cool. Can create your character and all that good stuff. Batman Blackgate. This is a really cool game. This is like a side-scrolling 3D game. It's kind of different style, different take on Batman, but pretty cool. Uncharted Golden Abyss. This game is fun. And for a Vita game, like, you really feel the height when he's climbing alongside the mountains. You're almost like afraid to fall off. It's a pretty good game for the Vita. And then I snagged up Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I was a huge Marvel vs. Capcom fan when I was in high school. I had it on PlayStation and part 2 on the Dreamcast. And so when I saw this, I grabbed it up. Really cool. It doesn't play the same as Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It doesn't have the same feel. So I'm not a super huge fan of it, but I did like it. Okay, Muramasa and the Demon Blade. Pick that up. That was one I grabbed as well, and I've been playing. And then Gravity Rush. I've spoken about Gravity Rush. This is a really cool game. I've been playing this one as well. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit just so that I don't miss out on any of the Switch stuff. Next up, we have Freedom Wars. This was a game that I grabbed on the Vita. I thought that was awesome. I also picked up Odin Sphere for the Vita as well, Vanillaware, really cool game. I grabbed that. Then Lost Dimension. I was so glad when I found this for $40. I snagged it because I think the day that I caught it was the day that they removed it from the Vita store. Then I got Persona 4 Golden. Got a good deal on this as well. And most of these games, you know, the Vita fans, you know about these. Next up, we have Eves. I went ahead and got Eves for the PS Vita. I've got it on the Switch as well as the PS2. So wanted to check it out on the Vita. Metal Gear Solid. When I bought Metal Gear Solid, I got it on Amazon for about $29.99. I think now it's up to like $69.99, which is kind of weird for Metal Gear Solid, but it's on the Vita, so it's probably why. Then next up, I got Shinobito 2, hack and slash style game. Was really feeling this one. Snagged that up. Then moving right along, went ahead and got Bastion. I had played Hades, and I like the feel of Bastion. I think I downloaded it on the Switch, and I just really like the gameplay. So I went ahead and got it on the Vita. Then I got Deception 4 Blood Ties. I thought this was a cool looking game, hack and slash. Picked that up. You know, I'm always all about my shmups. So I went ahead and got Darius Burst as well. I got a bunch of the Darius games. I got them on Saturn, PlayStation. I don't think I have any Darius games on Dreamcast, but I know Saturn and PlayStation for sure. Spelunky. This was a limited run pickup that I went ahead and got for the Vita. Looked fun. And then just a few more here, and these all were kind of funny, but they were all really cool looking to me. The first one is Croiler Sigma. I think that's how you say it. This is more like a hack and slash style game, but it's really cool looking. This was a limited run pickup, so I went ahead and grabbed that. Then Gundemoniums just looked like one of the most unique shmups I had ever seen, so I had to grab Gundemoniums. I really liked the way this game looked. Strictly limited game there. Next up is Bunny Must Die. I know this was a PC game, but the gameplay, again, that I'm all about the 2D sprites, and so I grabbed that up. I thought that looked cool. And then also Robbie Ribby was a game that I picked up on the PS Vita. Again, 2D, that whole 16-bit style gameplay. I just wanted to have it. Looked like a really fun game. Then some special editions on the Vita that I picked up. I was able to get the original Trials of Cold Steel. I've showcased this before. It's impossible to get this to show up on the camera just because it's of that reflective cover. But if you can see it, there it goes. And then last but not least, I went ahead and grabbed Metal Slug. As I said before, anytime I can get Metal Slug on a system, I'm going to grab it. And there was a special edition version of Metal Slug 3 on the Vita. And so that takes care of the Vita games. I've got about 5 more minutes. Let's dive into some Switch. And for the Switch, I'm going to start off with the imports. So when it comes to the Switch, I went ahead and got Tanuki Justice. This is a pixel heart pickup that I got through Video Games New York. Shout out to you guys. You guys are great. Next up was Shmup Collection. Wanted to have this in my collection. There's another Video Games New York pickup there that I got. Then we jump into some super rare stuff. Lonely Mountains Downhill. Wanted to get this for the Switch, so I added that to the collection. Pretty cool game. This is a 2D Metroidvania style game. This is a sleeper, but this game is really good. I mean, it's really fun. And so I grabbed it on the Switch. Next up, I picked this up earlier in the year, Dandara, Trials of Fear Edition. This was a game that I felt like I needed to have. Another one by Super Rare. It was a game that was a sleeper. Came out in the beginning of the year, so I grabbed that one up. Really cool game. And then Brothers, Tales of Two Sons. This was also released earlier this year. Grabbed this from Super Rare. Picked this up. This looked like a really fun one. And then after that, I went ahead and grabbed Stared in Binary Stars, just because of how much of a shmup lover I am. I felt like I needed to have it in the collection. Then moving over, we went ahead and got Darius Cosmic Collection, the arcade. Then we went ahead and got Darius Cosmic Collection, the console version. These are all the shmups that I picked up. Then I went ahead and got R-Type Dimensions EX. So this was another shmup that I needed to add to the collection. And then we have Xeno Crisis, which was another one that I added from Strictly Limited. Can't forget about Darius Cosmic Revelation, because this was another shmup that just recently came out that I felt like I wanted to add. And then you go down and there was also Samurai Jack. Saw this in Best Buy, knew that there was a limited run version, so I felt like I needed to get that, pick that up. And then these two are very, very recent. You have No More Heroes. No More Heroes, which recently came out. This was by a limited run. And then you had No More Heroes 2, which also was a limited run release. And I know I'm going through these pretty quickly, but it's only because we're running out of time. Next up was a game that I picked up from limited run, Knights and Bikes, which is a really cool one. And then also To the Moon, which is a pretty cool release there by limited run. These are all action adventure type games. Next up we have Chasm. I got the limited run version. I think this is going to come out in Best Buy soon. And then also Scott Pilgrim, which was a limited run release earlier in the year, as well as Fight and Rage, which was also a limited run release. Now there were some rarities that I picked up, like Super Blood Hockey. This was a kind of like a rarity that I picked up there, as well as Rival Megagun. This was by First Press Games, a pretty cool one. It's always hard to get these reflective ones in the shot. And then last but not least, there's more that I could show, but this one was a really rare one. Nightmare Boy. I've never seen this one, but this was an import that I picked up and I added it to the collection. And I don't know how many games I've gotten through in these past few minutes. There's a ton more that I could go through, but I didn't want this video to go beyond 16-17 minutes. So I'll show you one more here, and this is Bazooka. So this is a limited edition copy of Bazooka, and I don't even know how to pronounce the rest of it. So if you do, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. But these are some of the first half pickups for 2021. It's just too many games for me to go through them all here, but please let me know what your pickups have been for the first half of the year. And again, thank you for tuning in. I am the Y2K Collector, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.